Hello students, today I'm going to be presenting a project that you all will be doing throughout this semester. This will be your final project. I'm going to present the way in which I'd like the project completed. This is a storyboard to give you some specific examples of information that you can include on your own project. So the objective of this assignment is to be able to present well-known French foods in a cultural and historical context. For this example video, I have chosen les baguettes. I will be giving examples for this type of French bread, but each of you will choose your own type of French food that you can research and discover on your own. And you will also be able to create a video like the one I am going to demonstrate with your own specific content. I hope that you will be able to know how to use technological devices, know how to make a French recipe of said food, and also to feel a greater appreciation of French culture. So I want to expose students who participate and watch the presentation to the French love of fine dining. So, in the very beginning, the first couple of slides of your film should deal with the history of that food in French culture. You're welcome to choose examples from the beginning of French history, or you can choose something from more recent modern history. They're both applicable, but I would like to know how that type of French food originated, and if it was seen as something as unique to the French culture. Here I have a couple of examples of images and captions that can be used to describe the content that you are presenting. This is another example of some media that can be used. I have pictures. Be sure to cite your sources at all times. Some sources that you can use, and some quotes that might be informative for me as a teacher to see the progression of your ideas with its historical context. Moving on, everyone will need to include classic French scenes of cafes and restaurants. What this means is that you need to find on the internet in personal pictures of your friends who may have been to France. They need to provide images of where French people dine, and even if it's not specifically in France, what does a French restaurant look like? If you could also caption them with what they mean if they're French words, of course I'd like for you to translate, and also explain what that might mean within the culture of France. So here's another example. Fromagerie is the French word for the cheese store. In France, the cheese is so famous that there are specific stores dedicated to making different types of cheese. Now, unlike this example, please look over your spelling and make sure that there are no typos. In your third component, you will need to go ahead and give some examples for French words for different types of food. Of course, you have your featured food, but in this section, all of you will also be performing the same concept. You will need at least 3 examples of different types of French foods, including your featured item, that are unique to France. If you can also have the name in French of the item in the same picture, that would be ideal. Here we have a picture of beurre, which is the French word for butter. And I continue with a croissant. So this is still talking about different types of French foods. I would like for them to center on something having to do with your specific type of food. You will gain extra points for that. For me, since I'm discussing les baguettes, I've talked about butter, I've talked about jam. the fromager, where they make cheese that can be put on bread. And then I'd also like a couple of images of your featured food item. Some of them look very similar. Some of them have more variety in the way that they're presented, in the way that they're eaten, in the way that they are cooked or made or preserved. So I'd like close-up of different types of food items. As you can see here, baguette, the longer loaf is more traditional, but they can also be in smaller sizes as well. You can see here that I've referenced this picture on its page. The others are referenced in the end credits. Here, you will need to include a video making of yourself making this specific type of French food. It doesn't have to be edible. It doesn't have to be brought into class, but there does need to be a video of you attempting to make the item of your choice. And on the right side, you will need to include the ingredients. You can put measurements as well, but they're not required. Then here's where you'll have the credits. So this is a very general reference here, images from google.com/images, and then the information about the French bread history. This is a very, very sparse credit. I would like for yours to be at least APA format, and I would like it to be in alphabetical order. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing all of your projects. I think that it will be very exciting to present these in class. And if you'd like to bring in the food that you made, you are more than welcome to. You will receive 5 extra credit points on the assignment. Please follow the rubric carefully, and please use this presentation to help guide you throughout the process of making your own video and presenting the information about your featured French food item.